I want to show you another video that's on vaping. And I'm not going to show you this whole video because it's kind of long, but we'll look at it at the beginning so that you can see some techniques, and then I'll take you to the very end of the video so that you can see how it concludes, and we'll talk about it. Now again, keep in mind that media literacy question. What do you notice? And I'll also say, just as a technique from the standpoint of being a facilitator with a media literacy exercise, you don't want to give away what's going to be happening necessarily. And also, it's really important to get the input of your students or your audience, because what we're really trying to do is open up an avenue to explore. So we're not here to do a lot of data dumping, and spoon feed you with the information. Instead, we want you to come to it and engage with it and experience it, and then come to some of your own conclusions.
Cigarettes and marijuana have been used for centuries, but only recently has the process of vaporizing these substances become popular. So what does science have to say about this technology? Is it actually better for you? When smoking normally, the heat from fire causes substances to change from a solid state to a vapor. In cigarettes, this releases nicotine, which is absorbed into your bloodstream through the lungs, causing increased heart rate, constricted blood vessels, release of dopamine in the brain, and feelings of alertness. But because nicotine is a stimulant, once it's no longer present, you crash and crave more, which ultimately leads to addiction in many people. In the case of marijuana, the active component THC is aerosolized and follows the same pathway into your body, but with different effects, which we explain in our video, Your Brain on Marijuana, here. Smoking only takes 6 seconds for the active compounds to reach your nervous system, unlike chewing tobacco or eating edible marijuana, which takes much more time. But you have to inhale smoke in the process. This smoke consists of partially burned particles, which creates tar in your body, has cancer-causing effects, blackens teeth, and destroys taste buds. This is where vaping comes in. If you can heat the active components enough to become aerosolized without starting a combustion reaction with the other compounds, then you theoretically get fast effects without the damage of smoke inhalation. Vaping typically involves a glass or metal chamber which has an electrical current passing through it. This way it can heat to a controlled temperature, creating a vapor with minimal combustion, meaning you inhale much less smoke. For marijuana users, vaporizers have become popular as the plant material can be heated to a specific temperature, usually between 185 to 210 degrees Celsius, allowing just the THC-containing vapor to be extracted. For e-cigarettes, using a liquid solution instead of dry tobacco has become popular. This e-liquid contains water, nicotine, a base, and occasionally flavorings, and vaporizes at a much lower temperature. But this is where things get tricky. The e-liquid contains a base similar to that used in cosmetics and food, which helps maintain moisture without creating sogginess. One common base called propylene glycol, which is used in theatrical smoke, is known to cause irritation to the eyes and respiratory infections. So what's going to happen after prolonged inhalation in e-cigarettes? Scientists are still studying these effects, and even though in America the FDA has given the seal of approval, much is still unknown. To decrease carcinogenic
more toward the end.
affect pulmonary health. In grades 6 to 12 had increased. Special thanks to Audible for supporting this episode and giving you a free audiobook at audible.com/ASAP. This week we wanted to recommend the book Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the Quest for a Fantastic Future by Ashley Vance, which explores the full spectacle and arc of the genius's life, work, and vision. You can get a free copy at audible.com/ASAP or any others of your choice from a massive selection. We love them as they're great when you're on the go. Don't forget to ask your burning questions and subscribe for more weekly science videos.
Okay, what did you notice?
Long and complicated.
It's long and complicated, and we didn't even see it all.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
was for an older audience than the cat one, I think.
Okay, so probably directed to, and what makes you say that? What kind of?
Complicated.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think it gave a nice visual too.
Mm-hmm.
The
So the-
drawings, yeah.
So visual technique was attractive.
Yeah.
I think it's presenting something as science, but I'm not convinced it's really scientifically based, I don't know that, but it has an air about it, like giving you the facts.
Like a science lecture.
Right, not quite clear if that's
Yeah.
where that science is really coming from.
Okay, and what were some signals to you that it may not be science?
Well, I thought it was moving us in a direction of saying that the vaping is gonna be really okay, and the marijuana thing, I think we got it down, so.
Yeah, it's, but it's
And
not
again,
even
it's-
pro marijuana people, but there's Elon Musk. I think is he supporting that initiative?
Well, I don't know. It's not clear what his position is on that, just with this text.
There is an invitation to watch the one on marijuana, and at the end, the marijuana is right there. So it felt like it was certainly biased in the direction of vaping and marijuana being pretty harmless, and, you
Yeah.
know, we finally got
Plus,
this. Okay.
that initial image of the vaping and the happy boys
Yes.
jumping up
Mm-hmm.
indicated, oh, I can do this and be happy and safe.
And safe, exactly. Yes. And then, what do you find out at the end? Who created the message?
Audible books.
Audible Books. Okay, and then what happened?
We had an ad for Elon Musk's book.
And we started getting ads for books. Okay, so what was the purpose of this message?
Just so good.
Selling
Selling. Selling
the book.
books. And what was the message about the vaping and the marijuana? It was the lure. It was the tease. Exactly. But look how many views it got. 3,534,000. So did Audible get its money's worth? You bet they did. That many views for their commercial?
I'm not so sure that people who watch this are gonna buy Audible books more.
They may not. But was Audible successful in,
Reaching.
Well, plus, did the 3 million view it all the way to the end? Or was that just hits?
we don't have a way of
Yeah.
knowing that for sure.
Because it was very long, and a lot of people would click off
Exactly.
after they saw what they wanted to see, which was the happy boy jumping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think there's a huge market for people who want to know that there's an alternative to smoking that's okay.
Exactly.
So, yes,
Yes.
that's the lure. But I don't know if they got to the end of, and the book was free, or what were they getting that was free?
They were encouraging people to go to their video on marijuana.
Oh, that was the free part?
Yeah.
But-
I don't,
But if you do a trial of Audible, you get the free Elon Musk book.
Oh, I see.
oh, right, yeah, that's, yeah,
And did
thank
Elon
you.
Musk approve this?
No.
I imagine if he wants to sell his books, you know.
But they need some money.
Because he needs the money, exactly. Yeah. Now, I can tell you, having watched the whole video, they do go into kind of an anti-vaping, a few facts. But, you know, when you look at the balance of the presentation, and this would be another thing we would do in really analyzing something from a media literacy standpoint, we would say, well, how much time did they spend on pro-vaping, and how much time did they spend on anti-vaping information? You know, because you would want to look at the weight that they put on different information. And when you think about some of the techniques that were used, like the happy boy, there's definitely an appeal to an audience there. Now, we know that Audible was the sponsor of the message, but we really don't know who created the message, because you can figure that, you know, they hired a creative team to do this message, right? And we don't know whether, you know, they're credible or not, whether they really understand the science that they're purporting that they know. So there's some other hints on here about how to do more exploration. And these words right here, ASAP Science. It turns out that that group was the actual author of the text. And I want to show you some information about them because I thought, well, you know, I'll look into it and see who these people are. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the other thing that I wanted to show you, if we could get to it here, it looks like we're going to have a loading problem again, but there are comments on YouTube. And any of you who have gone to YouTube for information, and by the way, a recent study by Ofcom, which is the British regulatory agency of their population in the UK, found that YouTube is the most prevalent source of information for all of their citizens.
Hit and miss.
So, you know, I'll tell you, it's not different here. You know, YouTube and social media are tremendous sources now for news and for all kinds of information through which people make their decisions. And so, I think if we really want to look at why is media literacy important, here you have it right here. A little bit of background about ASAP Science, because remember I said they're the group who actually produced the video. And of course I went to Wikipedia because I couldn't find much else out there. And teachers always diss Wikipedia, but let me tell you, it is also the most referenced site. And that is exactly where consumers go to whenever they have questions about things. So we need to keep that in mind. Okay, so ASAP Science is a YouTube channel created by two Canadians, and the channel produces weekly videos that touch on many different topics of science. And the two creators have a secondary channel. Now, let's see who the author of this particular It gets into some of the other projects that these men have produced and their collaborations and their statistics. Look at their statistics. 4,500,000 subscribers, 475 million views. So these are really kind of astonishing numbers. All of the references come either from YouTube or ASAP Science. There is absolutely nothing, about the background of these two Canadian men, whether they're scientists, college dropouts, who knows. We know they're good communicators. They're reaching an audience, but the references all come down to YouTube and their own work.